Today, we're going to perfect your double stroke roll. In this clip, I'm going to show you the 3 most important techniques to use to get nice, clean, crispy doubles. Doubles can be one of the most difficult and frustrating rudiments to get the hang of, but once you get the hang of them, they will really open up your chops like nothing else. The techniques that I'm about to show you, I've used with tons of my students over the past 15 years, and they've helped me personally as well as all of my students. The first of the 3 most important techniques you got to get down is just learning to control the rebound of your stick. With this exercise, I just let the stick fall while holding it between my middle finger and thumb, and I try to get as many bounces as possible. Once I do that, then I'll put my fingers on the side of the stick so it stabilizes it as it rebounds. And then I limit how many bounces I get to just 2 bounces. And doing this whole process will really help you feel that natural rebound of the stick as it hits the pad or drum. The second step is to really keep track of your stick heights and learn to make your sticks fall flat. So just as if you were working on stickings, you want to make sure the stick heights of each of your strokes of your double are even. So the first stroke isn't too much higher than the second one. And then you also want to make sure you're not adding any kind of an arc as if you're playing a molar stroke, because then you'll definitely put an accent on that first stroke, and that's something you really want to try and fight against. And my last final tip is to just learn to use your fingers when you're playing your doubles. One of the biggest issues with playing doubles is that your second stroke will just not be as loud as your first stroke. So a way that you can combat that is by learning to use a little bit of help with your 3 back fingers as you're playing your doubles. So you practice it slowly with your right hand and your left hand, then you try it a bit faster, and then eventually you'll get to the point where you can pretty much play a full speed double stroke roll using mainly your fingers, and that will really help you out in the long run. These techniques are easier said than done to develop, so I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different exercises so you can practice them in a ton of different ways. The most obvious set of exercises is just to practice your roll rudiments while focusing on getting that rebound, keeping your stick heights even, and using a bit of your fingers. Another big tip is to not just practice at one dynamic level. What really helps me learn how to play fast is actually playing really quietly, as that will teach you to play nice and relaxed when you play. You've maybe seen people do this before, but practicing on a pillow can really help you learn to milk that rebound and also use your fingers in a more productive way. Don't do it too much, but it's a great way to kind of wake your muscles up. What I like about this exercise is it isolates each hand so you can really hear how each hand's doubles are sounding. And once again, you want to watch those stick heights, make sure you're taking advantage of the rebound and using a bit of your fingers. And everything we're doing here, you want to try at a variety of tempos. So you try it slowly, try it fast, and just see how everything feels. Once I start to get sick of specific exercises, I always try to work in some improv. So here I'm just kind of picking random accents and then filling them in with doubles. But you can also take like a song's melody and kind of play around that. That's a great skill to develop. This is one of my favorite exercises because it's really useful on drum set, because it just teaches you to use doubles in different ways and switch between singles with your right hand, with your left hand, and then offset doubles and all those kinds of things. So it's really versatile. And if you play it with one hand on, say, the hi-hat, another on the snare drum, it can really create some cool sounding rhythms. And again, just to recap everything that I went over in this video, you want to develop your rebound, get control of your stick heights, and then learn to use a bit of your fingers while you're playing your doubles. But probably the biggest thing that I didn't really talk about is a lot of it just takes a lot of time. It doesn't really matter which exercises you're doing, just do it for a long time. You can watch TV shows while you run exercises, and if you keep at it, you're definitely going to get better. Hopefully these tips have given you some new ideas and fresh inspiration on how to get better at doubles, and let me know how it goes in the future.